I laughed, I cried.
Yeah, and
taking its toll after 7 days without water. Emotions are running high. Good evening. I'm Timmy in Huntington.
I'm Amanda Barron in Charleston.
First tonight, we continue to follow the developing story as more zones of a widespread water ban are being lifted.
Here's a live look at the map. If you're in the blue, of course, you can flush your water system, and we can tell you just about a half hour ago, parts of eastern Kanawha County were given the all clear to flush the system. A reminder, if you are still in the red under the do not use order, do not flush your home or your business because you will cause trouble for other folks. Now, if you have a question, if you were in the clear or not, you can call the number on your screen, 855-390-4649. If you have access to the internet, you can go and just type in your address and it will let you know right away if you're in the red or if you're in the blue. While progress is being made in getting the water ban lifted, so many people still remain without.
Now the 7th night, Amanda, into this crisis. News Channel 3's Andrew Colgrove went to Boone County where frustration continues to grow.
This little thing right here, this is what you take baths in.
yeah, that's the bathtub.
How does that work out for you?
Not good at all.
It's wearing on people's minds. It's about to drive some people nuts.
Are you getting there yourself?
Yeah.
7 nights now under the tap water ban.
Drives me crazy.
Folks in Boone County feeling forgotten.
Because we're not a big city. We're the last ones on their list. It's like we're in the bucket list. At the bottom of the bucket. We're the soot, the coal dust.
After a week and counting.
No clean sheets, no clean clothes, dirty, stinky water.
That's what you're using to take a bath in?
Yeah, this.
Do you think she knows something weird is going on around here?
Yeah, see, she'd only drink water out of the faucet. You had to let it run and let her get up on the sink and drink it. And I just got her weaned off that where she'd drink water out of a bowl about a week ago, thank God.
I can't wash them.
The dirty laundry is mounting along with anxiety.
Your shirt's actually kind of appropriate. No more tweetheart. That kind of represents how you're feeling tonight.
Yep, there is no sweethearts right now.
Melinda Wynn's imagination heading in a dark direction.
I would like to burn up the tank. That's what I'd like to do, but that's against the law. I can't do it.
Well, workers with Boone Emergency Management say some of the restaurants have been able to start to open back up using bottles and jugs of water, but for drive-through and carry-out orders only.
Yeah,
Tim.
nobody's allowed inside. Thanks, Andrew. And the National Guard is delivering water there on a daily basis. That's also allowing Boone Memorial Hospital to remain open. We can also tell you Jamie Manring from Jackson, Ohio sent us this picture on Facebook tonight of a big delivery of water and supplies from Jackson, Ohio down to Madison in Boone County. They put out a call for donations in Jackson over the weekend. We have 3 boil water alerts to pass along to you tonight. The first one is for 1,000 customers in the Edens Fork and Tuppers Creek area of Sissonville. The second has been in effect for about 24 hours now. That's in South Charleston. It's in the Rockcrest Drive area and Chestnut Street. We just got another advisory into the newsroom. This is for 2,000 customers in the northern Putnam County area of Putnam Union and Derricks Creek Ridge. That includes Confidence Elementary. For specific streets, you can head over to WSAZ.com.
We have the health alert tonight for moms. It really has everyone talking. Moms-to-be, if you're pregnant, the CDC is saying stick with bottled water. The West Virginia Bureau for Public Health and the CDC are recommending as a precaution that pregnant women drink bottled water until there are no longer detectable levels of MCHM in the water distribution system. The CDC did say that it doesn't anticipate any adverse health effects from these levels, less than 1 parts per million. We know there are a whole lot of questions on this topic. We've spoken with health officials on the water and the potential concerns. We have their answers coming up a little bit later in the show.
More health concerns related to the water situation tonight. Officials say they are getting reports of people suffering from lingering symptoms. Dr. Rahul Gupta tells us there may be a smell that's left in the water after the pipes are flushed, and that odor can trigger reaction in certain people with allergy and asthma problems. Dr. Gupta says people have shown up with eye and skin irritations. He says with rashes, upset stomach, vomiting, and diarrhea. He says that does not necessarily mean the pipe flushing was harmful, though, to anyone's health specifically. The company at the center of this leak has been slapped with 5 new citations from the DEP tonight. Officials say Freedom Industries drained all 3 tanks that were holding the chemical that spilled in Charleston and moved them over to another facility in Nitro. But inspectors say the material isn't being safely stored at that new location either. The biggest violation, inspectors say, just like the Charleston facility where the leak originated, the new site lacks the proper containment to keep the chemical from leaking out. Although it is not near a river or a water supply, Freedom may be forced to relocate the material yet again. Meanwhile, the Chemical Safety Board in Charleston is investigating the chemical spill that contaminated the water supply.
News Channel 3's Jennifer Rizzi spoke with members about the process, and she learned this will not be finished overnight.
Johnny Banks has seen 11 years worth of problems. He's with the Chemical Safety Board and follows up wherever disaster calls.
We analyze evidence, we interview eyewitnesses.
This week, the massive chemical leak landed his team in Charleston. That's where they'll stay till Friday, investigating why it happened and whether prevention was possible. Although he's no stranger to emergencies, Banks says this case really stands out.
It is striking the far-reaching implications of this. Up to 300,000 citizens have been had their lives disrupted, and so it resonates with our agency as something that is significant.
His crew is going straight to the source, Freedom Industries. They're taking photos of conditions at the company and talking to officials and employees about what went wrong. But a big part of the process is also talking to you.
Of dealing with the community where their lives have been torn asunder. But they come to us and they seek understanding of what happened and why.
The crew is just beginning to collect facts and wouldn't comment on findings. In fact, the process is so involved, it could take a year or more. 6 years ago, the board also investigated an explosion at Bayer Crop Science that killed 2 workers. Their recommendations were ignored. Members say they only have authority to make them, not to enforce them.
We're dancing as fast as we can. We need the support of the public.
The team will be posting updates periodically on their website and checking for public feedback. You can find a link to that site on our web channel at WSAZ.com.
All right, a lot of people will be looking for that. Jennifer, thanks. They also plan to release a preliminary finding in a public setting. That'll happen in about 6 months. Of course, safety and prevention are now high priorities, making sure chemical spills like this do not happen in the future. The West Virginia Senate Majority Leader is introducing new legislation that would require the Department of Environmental Protection to inspect above ground storage tanks like the one that leaked in this case. The DEP currently inspects underground tanks, but they don't have the authority to inspect above ground tanks. Lawmakers say they want to reassure West Virginians their water will be safe in the future.
Tonight, we actually had a chance to sit down and speak with a lawyer representing people from the Kanawha Valley who have filed lawsuits against Freedom Industries after they say they had to go to the hospital for reactions from the contaminated water. Jesse Forbes says one of his clients was like many of the people affected during the spill, in his words, unaware of the chemical even being in the water.
We don't know what's going to happen. I think people are scared. I think that it's shocking when you find out that nothing more had been done to prevent this from happening.
Forbes says another one of his clients was scheduled for a kidney transplant surgery, but he was unable to have the transplant due to the emergency. Forbes says he has filed a civil suit against Freedom Industries.
While the all clear has been given for many neighbors to flush their systems, many are still weary about using the water. Of course, a lot of restaurants and business owners concerned too. The owner of Lola's Pizza on Bridge Road in Charleston says, of course, they've been cleared, they've been flushing the water, but she's going to continue using bottled water and paper plates for everything. She says she's not giving her children the water, so she's not going to serve that water to her customers.
Being small and independently owned does allow me to make these sorts of decisions, and I have gotten nothing but really positive feedback from people.
Now, she says she's not sure when she's going to start using the water again, but she, like so many of you, taking precautions.
Many people obviously still concerned about the water and the problems that they may still have, and that's why a group created on Facebook came together tonight in person. More than 130 people met up at the Roosevelt Community Center, and they talked about how they're dealing with these water problems. Members of the group say they're just searching for answers right now.
The fear comes from the unknown, because there isn't research, and they're giving us numbers, and they're really not giving us any facts on what this chemical can do. So I think that definitely is putting fear into people, and we want answers.
The members say they plan on holding a protest at the state capitol or at the governor's mansion next Tuesday. No word yet on what time that may be taking place.
Well, as each day passes, many parents are wondering how much longer it's going to be until the kiddos can head back to class, but the answer isn't clear yet. Kanawha County school officials say about 26 out of 70 schools are ready, and they say the remaining schools are either in the red or completing the flushing process and being inspected. Meantime, state school officials say they're working with individual counties to try and help with calendar changes, and educators say right now their main priority is just student safety. Help is pouring in from far and wide. The Knights of Columbus in Lancaster, Ohio, so far has collected about 4,300 bottles of water for folks in our area. They've also gotten about 170 gallons of water donated by the community. Here's a look at those donations. The group is planning on meeting with officials in the morning to donate the water to the surrounding areas that are in the most need. Water distribution sites do remain open tonight. Even though these zones keep opening up, they're still there. We spoke with Kanawha County Commission President Kent Carper. Get these numbers. He says so far about 6.7 million bottles of water have been handed out in Kanawha County. 110 trucks from FEMA have been brought in, and 10 other trucks filled with water have been donated. In Putnam County, water distribution sites will stay open until at least Saturday night. For a complete list of water sites, head on over to the web channel WSAZ.com. Well, coming up nearly. And the questions keep on coming. You posted your concerns on our Facebook page, and we're going to bring you the answers to some of the most frequently asked. That's in about 9 minutes.
And a cold and an occasionally snow showery weather pattern will be locking in heading into the upcoming Martin Luther King weekend. Updated forecast when I come back on WSAZ Charleston.